discuss. Meanwhile, the return of Parkins picks.
That's right.
We have rented the throne.
We should have bought it by now.
You waxed Nick last
He beat
year.
me by 2.5 games.
Crushed him.
Yeah, but I mean,
It felt like
2.5 games.
It felt like about.
That's like the wild card with the Royals. It's a huge gap. They're on 2.5 games.
The gap extended during the playoffs.
Danny was, I don't know that that's true at all. Danny was the best handicapper on TV, national TV last year, but I was the second best. I was 62% against the spread.
Remember the Kentucky Derby? The guy who came in second to, or the horse that came in second to.
Yeah, they literally pay millions of dollars for that.
What was the name of the horse?
The one in this year's?
No, second to Secretariat.
I believe it was Forgotten.
Legendary race.
No, his name was not Forgotten.
I think his name was Forgotten.
That's a good joke.
No moral victories, though. You're better than that.
Thanks.
Jerry met with the media yesterday after trading superstar Micah Parsons, even though he told me specifically I wouldn't lose any sleep over it, or shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
I didn't. But they traded Micah Parsons. He says this move is going to make the Cowboys better. Take a listen.
This was a move to get us successful in the playoffs. This was a move to be better on defense, stopping the run. This was a move to, if we get behind, not be run on. And it was a deliberate move, a well thought out move to make this happen. We have a chance to get a minimum of 3, and it could very easily be as many as 5. Really top players.
Okay. Highest pressure rate since Micah entered the NFL. He was a top player. Micah Parsons, Trey Hendrickson,
Thank God.
Miles Garrett.
He almost didn't make the show for the first time in a month.
He made it. He got it.
Wow, we needed the overtime.
Yeah, we got it.
Buying the Cowboys will be better.
No, I'm not buying that the Cowboys will be better without one of the best defensive players in football in and entering his prime. And I'm also not buying that Jerry Jones believes it.
Oh.
Like, he's not an honest broker. You said, the quote about not losing sleep. That was when the trade request came out, almost a month ago? We don't have to go back that far. Last week, Jerry Jones on his media tour said, we are not trading Micah Parsons. And we're not trading Micah Parsons. He's a part of this team. We plan to keep him right here where he belongs. Any talk of a trade is BS. It is August 29th. That was August 22nd. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to adopt a new policy because Jerry's going to talk after every game, and he's going to do his radio show, and he's just going to talk. I'm going to listen to Dak Prescott from this time last year. Dak Prescott said, I don't listen to Jerry Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because that, to me, seems the most important takeaway in all of this. Because no one believes that.
I know, but Dak also told me that it was going to get done.
Well,
You're in a tough spot.
Okay, fair enough. But, obviously the Cowboys are not better without Micah Parsons. Does that really need to be debated?
No, so listen, I don't think there is any argument that they got better this year.
But Jerry just
of course he did. But he also, listen, there were some things Jerry said at that press conference that I understood. Some I thought were more or less nonsense. Like when he also, we haven't talked about it on today's show yet, but he alluded to the ideas like, hey, there's nothing saying we're not trading one of those picks for a player to help us right now. I'm telling you, that's not happening. There's no other star player coming available right before the start of the season. I do buy the idea, however, that in 4 years, this trade might age far better for the Cowboys than we think. I do, because I would not be in the business, Brew, of trading Micah Parsons, having that be a possibility. But they got in that business 18 months ago. They started down this road of not signing him when the top of the market was $34 million and he wanted the deal. Of signing CD instead, before they signed him. Of not making sure this got done as soon as you could before the draft, and deciding if we don't get this done before the draft, then we are trading him before the draft. Those were all mistakes. But once they got to where they were yesterday, I don't think it is a catastrophic decision if staring you in the face is, all right, we just do a game of chicken with Micah Parsons, and maybe he misses games with a bad back, or maybe he plays as a hostage, and then next year we have to tag him and go through this whole thing again. That's door number one. Door number two is we blow up the entire market and have the highest paid quarterback by a ton and the highest paid defensive player by a ton and one of the highest paid receivers, or a temporary step back for a year to get more quality players. Like that, once they were where they were, I understood the trade. That's, even though I'm not buying they're going to be better this year.
So do you think they can be a playoff team next year?
Sure.
Okay, I don't, and I think that like we said it yesterday, getting these draft picks, that's for a rebuild. But your quarterback makes $60 million and he's 32 years old. So in those 4 years, when let's say the draft picks pan out, they're not going to be Micah Parsons, but let's say they're pretty good players. By the time they're really ready to wreck shop, Dak now is on the decline.
Is it not, though, a poor man's version of what the Chiefs did with Tyreek Hill? Like the Chiefs were not in a rebuild, and those guys helped them. No, that's why I said a poor man's, of course. Like, I'm not saying they're, but
that's the most optimistic version.
My point is the players the Chiefs drafted with the Tyreek Hill trade, that was 3 years ago. They've been helping them every step of the way. It's Trent McDuffie, it's George Karlaftis. You know what I mean? It's those, and I'm not. You have to hit the picks. There's a lot of things, but I don't look at it as. It's not like the NBA where, and I know you're not saying that, but where, oh, the 19-year-old's not going to be able to help you till he's 23. Young players in the NFL, first-round picks are supposed to help you immediately.
Yeah, I think you're like drastically contorting yourself to try to justify some really bad process by Dallas here. Right. Like this wasn't the plan. And it wasn't the plan, evidently, until a couple of days ago. They traded for George Pickens to win this year. Yes. George Pickens isn't under contract for the future, and you're right, they should have done it before the draft if they wanted to. And where you and I seem to fundamentally disagree is this isn't that bad of a contract. It's not like you said, like we would be mocking Jerry Jones for losing in the negotiation if he would have signed Micah Parsons to this deal. Why? Because he got $4 million more than TJ Watt?
I think it's 6, right? TJ Watt makes 41. This is 47.
Okay, and Garrett is 42, and it's 47. Fine, $5 million more. It's not a significant amount of money when they have the cap space and the cap goes up 6, 7, 8, 9% every year for a guy who is 3 and 4 years younger than TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. It's not a bad contract.
No, listen. I'd rather pay Micah than pay CD. I don't, and this is. I think it's two different conversations, KW. We all think it's a bad process. We all think the road they took was the bad road. My question is, if this is the direction to get to your house, KW, and I'm like, no, we're going to drive this way. Once we're here, it doesn't matter that we should have gone here. It's what is the best thing to do from here.
The only problem is like when you're like, this is the way I wanted to go.
No,
I wanted to take the scenic route.
Right, I agree with all.
Once you're here, shouldn't you just sign the contract?
And Nick as well. The reports are that Micah's people, David Mulligetta, they called Jerry about a week ago and said, hey, you want to renegotiate this thing? And Jerry turned him down.
Correct.
So now they're all the way over here when they were trying to go there. He had a chance to make it all right, and that's where I said ego and pride got in the way.
But that's where I don't think he could have made it all right and signed Micah. I believe Micah would have accepted this deal. The point that I am trying to make is, I think had the news yesterday at 5:02 when you did this and said maybe they're trolling me, the Dallas Cowboys have signed Micah Parsons to a 4-year, $188 million deal. None of us would have said they're a contender. None of us would have all of a sudden put them in the playoffs. None of us would have said that's a great job, Jerry. What a negotiation.
But we wouldn't. I wouldn't have been because of the contract. It would have been because of the process.
But it also would have been the contract would have. We would have said, once again, you're paying way over the top of the market like you did with Dak. The Packers did that and gave up first-round picks, and we're like, great job, which I understand because that's how you acquire this type of player. But if you're trying to
I know, but that path would have made me feel if that happened, I'd be like, all right. I can see 9 wins, get into the playoffs, make some noise.
Right, but if they're
Right.
But now we're not saying that. Now I'm looking at like our schedule of games, and I'm like, oh, is that one interesting just because it's the Cowboys, or it's going to have
Like,
playoff?
when are they getting back in the playoffs? Look
so-
at the division.
But that I
maybe
guess
they
Giants are
maybe
getting
this
back.
is. I
surprises
think
us.
they got further away from playoff team. I think this might have been the only ripcord they had to pull to be able to become a contender. Like, I don't think with the 9th or 12th, whatever, best quarterback in the league, making top of the market money, with a receiver who's really good, making top of the market money, and with a defensive player blowing past the market, and that being more than 50% of your cap, you are going to contend. Like, that's the point that I'm making. Like, I think that they pulled the ripcord on that, and now if they crush it in the draft, they can build their entire defense through this trade.
But so 4 months ago, were you saying trade Micah Parsons? Because they had already paid CD, they had already paid.
It didn't seem like it was possible. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like that's what they were thinking. And so no, what I was saying was a year ago I wouldn't have signed Dak. Like I have been consistent on that I would have built around either CD and Micah or Dak and Micah. But they signed Dak, they signed CD, and they seemed insistent on signing Micah. I just don't think it's responsible.
Playoff amendment time. This is a little
This
bit
is
of a
tough for this
twist.
guy here. This is a
when
disaster.
the news happened yesterday, Danny, you put your head on the desk in total despair because Micah is
Bears
now
fan
in the NFC North, where he will face Caleb Williams twice a year. One note on Caleb. We didn't have to dig in their research files too deep for this.
Is this an EPA stat, Wild?
Nope, it's called sacked 68 times.
Yeah, is it good if the quarterback who's the most sacked player basically ever now has to play Micah Parsons twice a year?
Would you like to amend your Bears to the playoff pick or anything else before we see your full predictions?
Well, the Bears to the playoff pick, I want to be able to still travel home to Chicago and be accepted there. So, no, the Bears are still comfortably in the playoffs. But divisions do get 3 teams into the playoffs now, especially. It's going to be a much more common thing. So this is what the predictions were prior to the Micah Parsons trade, where I had Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers finishing 4th. And then they acquired one of the great defensive players ever. So I thought long and hard, and like Brew, stayed up late.
There you go.
Lost a lot of sleep last night. I was thinking about it. It looks like he had bags under the eyes, and I have made a change.
Okay. Let's see what.
Let's reveal the change, please.
Reveal the change.
3rd place, still missing the playoffs. Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
That's right.
Great take.
Yeah.
Wow.
A slight bump.
As a take in a vacuum,
A slight bump. Here's the thing. I remember
Missing the
watching you
playoffs?
guys 48 hours ago being like, they've already cost themselves, this being Dallas when Micah was still there, he's going to be on a pitch count. He's not going to be able to play well at the beginning of the season. How available is he going to be for that game against Philly? Well, now.
That game's on Thursday. The Packers play Sunday. I mean,
72
these
more
are
hours.
world-class athletes. You remember Khalil Mack with the Bears?
That game is one of the
Had
most
an
impressive
awesome game. Maybe
defensive
his
games
best
I've ever
game
seen.
with the Bears was his first game with the Bears after holding out. Wow. I mean, they won 11 games last year with Malik Willis starting 2 of them. With their quarterback being damaged most of the season.
And so you have a team missing the playoffs that Brew is going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's correct.
I love
it.
That's
Sounds
correct.
like one of my picks. All right, your full playoff predictions now to conclude predictions week.
Well, right, and we missed the South division from me yesterday, which is a big miss, obviously, for the show because of the Micah Parsons trade news. And we can reveal right there that a team that Nick has finishing dead last in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts.
You have them winning the division?
I have them winning the division.
All right, I'm telling you right
I
now.
like the Colts as a sleeper.
That's the